What is going on, Who Dat Nation? Happy Friday. Hope you guys are ready for the weekend, because I know I am. But before you guys get your weekend started, I wanted to give you some fresh New Orleans Saints content. So coming up in today's video, ESPN published an article suggesting one big roster hole that each team had. And I'm going to break down what that position was for the Saints, what they had to say, and I'm going to give you my reactions. And on top of that, Spencer Rattler was a steal. But that's not news to us Saints fans. And to be honest, there's a lot of other media outlets saying the same thing. And I'm going to give some more praise to our fifth-round pick, our sweet prince, and possibly our savior, Spencer Rattler. But let's just get this thing started with ESPN. They said that the biggest hole for the New Orleans Saints was safety. Now they're asking this question, is Jordan Howden ready to start for the entire season in New Orleans? A fifth-round pick out of Minnesota in 2023, Howden started for the second half of his rookie season, but his DVOA allowed in coverage was 11.3 yards per target, ranked 72nd out of 82 qualifying safeties. Behind Jordan Howden is Jonathan Abram, who is much more of a box safety, and JT Gray, who played just 5 defensive snaps last year, but Gray is the special teams ace. So before I kind of get to my thoughts and kind of respond to what ESPN had to say, I want to open up the floor to you guys. What's the biggest need for the New Orleans Saints right now? Do you think it's offensive tackle? Do you think it's linebacker, safety, corner, quarterback, receiver, whatever you think it is? I want you to let me know what you think down in the comment section, because I love hearing what y'all have to say. So my take on this, and I do believe that Jordan Howden is a good football player, and I think that he can become a true starting safety in this league. But I'm not necessarily sold that he's ready right now. And full transparency, when I was scripting this portion of the show, I was fully prepared to say Jordan Howden is ready to go. He is a starting safety, and he puts up damn good numbers. But I think that he is a talented player, but he needs to improve. So hear me out here real quick. So here's the stats that Jordan Howden had whenever he was logging 30 or more free safety snaps. So obviously he did get a lot of run throughout the whole regular season, but there was only 6 games specifically that he had 30-plus snaps at the free safety position. And you can see on your screen, the Packers game, it was okay, had 15 yards allowed. The next, or 2 weeks later in Foxborough, had a really good game against the Patriots, but then struggled big time against the Lions. We all remember that game. The defense just couldn't stop a nosebleed. But then it started kind of getting it together in the second half, and then it kind of collapsed. It was just a whole mess. And then in Week 14, the Panthers, he had a good coverage grade, a decent coverage grade at least, and he only allowed 25 yards and a pass breakup. But then in the Giants game in Week 15 against Tommy DeVito, 0 pass breakups, 9 yards allowed, and a nice coverage grade. And he actually did grade the second best this season against the Los Angeles Rams on Thursday Night Football. So how I see it, there's 3 options for New Orleans at safety. So 1, Jordan Howden just takes a big leap, and he turns into a really, really good player. And I think he is capable of doing that. But right now and in this moment in time, I'm totally in the boat of adding more safety depth. So the next thing you could do is go trade for a Budda Baker or a Talanoa Hufanga or another safety out there that's possibly on the trade block throughout the entire NFL. And then the last option I think you have, it's the best option. Sign Justin Simmons. Go get Justin Simmons. I'm trying to make it a freaking trending thing on social media. The Saints need to sign Justin Simmons. But you could also maybe explore the option of a Patrick Peterson, who did log a decent amount of snaps at safety last year. And I do know that he's more of a corner, and he didn't really do all that great. But, again, what's more veteran presence? But Justin Simmons, that's my number 1 option. So I want you to tell me, is Jordan Howden ready to be a starter in the NFL? Do you think that he is ready to take, the big leap? Do you think that he's ready to have that kind of pressure and that he's ready to put up safety 1 type production? I want you to let me know in the comment section. Just give me a simple yes or a simple no. And defend your take, defend your thoughts, because I know that Saints fans are some of the smartest out there. Again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I will continue to beat this horse until it happens. Bring me Justin Simmons. I don't need to overthink this. I cannot stress this enough. It is the easy decision to make. Go give Justin Simmons a nice fair contract where he can get a lot of money and incentives. And if he doesn't play all that well, okay, you still get good veteran presence that can help develop your young defensive group. And here is my dream safety group for the New Orleans Saints. Now, obviously, I don't think I think Jonathan Abram is not going to get a ton of run as a starter. I think he's more of a rotational guy. But I would love the rotation of Tyrann Mathieu, Jordan Howden, and Justin Simmons to be the three-headed monster that protects the deep shots, giggity, for my team. I think that if you had these three guys on the field at any given time, or any combination of the three you see on your screen, it would just be really, really good production. And I think that it would be a really scary defense. And I do think that there is a tie from Justin Simmons to Tyrann Mathieu. If you go back in March when Justin Simmons was initially released by the Denver Broncos, which was a shocking move, Tyrann Mathieu took to social media and posted this. Said, I want to go on a rant because my favorite safety got released, but he's a pro's pro and one of the best in the game. He will land on his feet. Now, he hasn't landed yet. He's still doing some front flips, maybe some back flips, maybe he's doing a cartwheel, but he hasn't landed on his feet yet. So here is my proposition to you, Tyrann Mathieu. Dear Tyrann Mathieu, please, please, please recruit Justin Simmons to New Orleans. It would be an absolutely great decision. It would be a very smart use of money. And on top of that, you could possibly have the best safety duo in the entire NFL. Sincerely, not just me, Trace Girouard here at Chat Sports, but the entire Houdat Nation. I think we would all love to see Justin Simmons repping the black and gold, and I think that that would be an excellent move to really improve Dennis Allen's defense and make it a very, very scary unit to try and scheme up against and try and play against. And goodness gracious, it would be so dang fun. So I do want to encourage you really quickly to join our squad. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It's 100% free. And if you're a diehard Saints fan, this is the channel for you. I've been bleeding black and gold since the day I knew what football was and the day I took my first breath. So if you want to get Saints coverage by Saints fans, for Saints fans, I encourage you to hit that big red sub button and lock us in today. All right, I wanted to round out the show talking about Spencer Rattler because I'm just so excited about what he's going to bring to the table here. In New Orleans, he is in a perfect situation. And to be quite honest, the NFL made a really, really shitty decision by letting Spencer Rattler fall to New Orleans in round 5 at pick 150. And I'm not the only one who's ever given Spencer Rattler praise. I'm not the only one who's ever given Spencer Rattler criticism. But I do think that this is a player who's going to come into the league with a massive chip on his shoulder and something to prove. He's a 5th-round pick with absolutely no pressure, and I think that the situation he's in is absolutely spectacular. Now, the Athletics' Dane Brugler is a guy that I absolutely trust in everything when it comes to draft prospects and draft, scouting. So here's what his write-up was on Spencer Rattler, saying that he has a methodical play style and needs to be more urgent in his movements/reads, but he has the arm talent and self-confidence and work habits that give him a fighting chance to work his way up an NFL depth chart. He offers upside at the position, but the interview process will be crucial to his draft grades. And Brugler actually even had a 3rd-round grade, a number 72 overall prospect on Spencer Rattler. And hey, he fell over double that to the 150th pick, which was, great news for the New Orleans Saints. And I do think that he could be the future quarterback 1 of this team. And I think that he has the tools and the skill set to be a starting quarterback and be a good quarterback in this league. He's shown a lot of flashes throughout college with really good arm strength and really nice accuracy at every single level, not just, on the short and intermediate balls, but on the deep ball. When he's running around, when he's mobile, he can still put the ball where he wants to and drop it into the basket. And on top of that, he has much more improved decision-making with his time in South Carolina versus his time at Oklahoma, where Caleb Williams did take over his starting role. Spencer Rattler, I think that's a good thing as a man. You take a step back, you get a little bit humbled, and you come back better than ever. And on top of that, he's a really good athlete on film, and it's not really, really good, maybe a kind of exaggeration, but he's a much better athlete on film than what the testing shows. But my question is, when he's scrambling, when he's running with the ball? Can he move effectively? I don't care if he's really damn fast. I don't care if his agility is absolutely off the charts. I just want somebody who can be effective when he's carrying the ball, who, if you're scrambling, can create some more space, can create some more time to allow the play to develop or to allow something to happen. And on top of that, I also love the ability of him moving fluidly around the pocket or running downfield and buying extra time, taking more time off the clock, getting to the first down, finding the open space when he needs to be a ball carrier. I think that those are the things. If he can do that at the NFL level, I don't care how fast he is. I just want to see him be an effective and an efficient ball carrier. On top of that, obviously, as a passer as well. But if you want to get a Spencer Rattler jersey, go to chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. He's not rocking 00. It's just a placeholder number. So whenever he has his official number, we will have jerseys sent your way. So go get geared up right now for the possible quarterback of the future. Chatsports.com/Saints jerseys. The link is in the comment section and description of this video. So Bleacher Report, they had an article write-up that I actually thought was really, really cool. They gave a lot of praise to Spencer Rattler, and the article essentially was a bunch of different draft picks that, fell way further than they should have, that a lot of teams might be, a little bit weary of and may have to deal with the repercussions, if you will. So Bleacher Report saying, while New Orleans lacked a premium first-round pick required to land one of the top signal callers in the 2024 class, it did come away from the draft with a potential solution to its quarterback woes. By utilizing a day 3 pick on Spencer Rattler, the Saints finally have a developmental prospect with the ceiling of becoming a quality NFL starter. Spending time brought up to speed and polishing his game behind a former Pro Bowler in Derek Carr, whose contract expires following the 2026 season but has a potential out after 2025, could do wonders for the prospect. Even if Rattler would still lack the prototypical size and arm strength teams generally covet in NFL quarterbacks, he may end up becoming a serviceable starter in the Big Easy in exchange for what amounts to a throwaway pick. And again, I said it earlier, Spencer Rattler is in the perfect situation. And I think that, the Bleacher Report article brought up some really interesting points in saying that he is in a good situation. He gets to sit behind a former Pro Bowler in Derek Carr. And I understand that a lot of people are split on what they think about Derek Carr, but the reality is he's a league average quarterback, and he's not a shitty quarterback. He's just not an elite quarterback. So, you could still learn something, and you can still develop under a guy like that because he is pretty smart between the ears. And on top of that, I do think that he has decent ability. It's just not what it, could have been, back when he was on his MVP possible tear. But I will say this, how I see it, the quarterback 2 position, it's Jake Haener's to lose. So right now, I'm going to say it's Derek Carr QB1, Jake Haener QB2, Spencer Rattler QB3. Now, obviously, Kellen Mond was released, and Nathan Peterman is likely going to be the practice squad quarterback. But this is Jake Haener's job to lose. And let the games begin, because Spencer Rattler is a major competitor. One of his biggest attributes, and maybe something that even got him into a little too much trouble, is how competitive he is and how much of a gamer he is. I'm absolutely on fire about that. I love my players not being okay and not settling for their potential, I'm not happy, and I don't want my guys to settle. I want them to reach their potential. I want them to fight for their spots. I want them to earn every rep that they get. So I think that this is going to be a really fun QB2 competition, and I do think that Spencer Rattler has the ability to win QB2. It's just Jake Haener's job to lose. So pick a QB2 for me in the comment section. Just give me a JH for Jake Haener. Give me an SR for Spencer Rattler. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, hit the thumbs up icon, and turn on the notifications. Y'all stay golden. Have a wonderful weekend. More content coming at you.